Hey guys, and how's it going? Maniac Mower here. We are going to go on ahead and continue on with our John Deere garden tractor series that I am currently doing on the 100 series and 200 series. Previously we did videos on the 100 series. We talked about how they were back in the 70s and 60s, and then also the round fenders, and then we also talked about in 1968 when they first switched over to the square fenders against the round fenders, and then in 1972 they made a lot of changes to what they were in 72 all the way to 74. So moving on to the 200 series finally. This is my 1977 212, as you can see. So going into the 200 series, as you can see, this tractor does have a brake pedal like the 73. Now the difference from the 200 series is different compared to the different 200 series. I am going to start with my 212, and then the next video is going to be on my 216. So this tractor in 1977 all the way to 1980, this right here was your brake, and the one over there was your clutch. Pretty much everything except for that on the 200 series was the exact same. This tractor has a electric PTO compared to the manual PTO. That is what I want to switch this tractor over to, is manual PTO. Right here's your PTO switch, where if you had a manual PTO, the light switch would be right here, and right here would be your lever for turning your PTO on and off. So that's something to watch out for. I prefer the manual PTO over the electric PTO. They're easier to work on. Inside of the rear hub, it is the exact same as on the 100 series tractors. It has the snap ring in it, and this does not have bar tires on it. This has heavier duty turf tires. These are Firestone. Up front, this tractor also has the 1-inch spindles with the bolts in the hub instead of the tapered shaft. Another thing about the 200 series, they also have side panels, but I do not have side panels for this tractor, and so I do not have them on there. The side panels, like my 212 had, the one that I used to have had mesh side panels on it. It had little mesh screens in it. Those are actually rare, and I kind of wish I would have kept them when I sold that tractor. This is called the yellow stripe. On the 200 series, they also had the tiger stripe. I'll show you guys that in the next video, but this is what they called the blank yellow stripe. This is the older one. This is what they had in the early 200 series compared to the later 200 series. Variators in the same place, all except for there's a plate right there that pulls it out instead of in the frame like it was in the 100 series. The amp meter, I'll show you guys that when we show the dash, and I think that's about it for this side. Okay, so we're going to start from the top and go down. The 200 series had 3 headlights, as you can see. I do not have a front cover on this tractor to cover up the headlights, so you see the headlights. As you can see, it's got 3 LEDs going down. 1975 is when they first started making the 200 series. In 1975 all the way to 1978, they used a mesh grill. This is not a John Deere grill. This is actually a grill that I made, but it is a mesh grill like what it should be. This right here is your mule drive tensioner. As you can see, they actually made a plastic T that came off of here that you would turn. That plastic T broke, and it got left with this, so that's what's on here right now. The 100 series had a little bit better than what this one has on it. Excuse that, that was the microwave. But they had a better setup on them than these did. And then this right here is your little front linkage piece that comes down to hook up to your snow plow or snow blower. I do not have the extensions on here for the snow plow, so that's why that one looks a little bit shorter. And the frame on these tractors is black. The front of them is the exact same as how it is on the 100 series. That did not change from the 200 series to the 100 series. And I think that is about it for the front. Here is currently the left side of the 212. As you can see, this right here is your manual lift. On the 200 series, they had a manual lift, hydraulic lift, and electric lift. If you had manual lift, this is what you would have. If you had electronic lift, it would come out right here and go straight up, and you would push that up or pull it back. They also had hydraulic lift. That was pretty much the exact same thing as the electric lift lever, all except for it just ran hydraulics. The hydraulics would mount to the side of your engine shroud right here, and there'd be a pulley here and a pulley here. There'd be a belt in between that would drive that. And my buddy has one of them. Clutch pedal on this side is the same as it is on the later square fenders. The front tires, hubs are the same as how they are on the later 112s. This actually has a 14 horse Kohler in it. The 210s had a 10 horse Kohler. The 212s actually had a 12 horse Kohler. This one's got a 14. The 214s had a 14 horse Kohler, and the 216s had a 16 horse Kohler. So the 210 and 212 ran off the same carburetor. The 214 and 216 had a bigger carburetor. Now, they did also make a John Deere 208. The 208 and the John Deere 200 are virtually the exact same thing, all except for the 208 does not have a variator and the 200 has a variator. The 208 has an 8 horse Kohler on it. It was designed to be a basic lawn tractor for mowing people's yards, and that was it. But it went too slow and it was underpowered, so they ended up putting a variator on it, and they made it into a John Deere 200. Which those are rare. The 208s they only made from 78 to 79. Those are rare, and then the 200s I think were only made 1 year. 1 or 2 years, so those are rare as well. The 200s are more rare than the 208s though. And I think that is it. Here is the back of the tractor. As you may notice, right here there is a filler neck for a gas tank. In the 200 series, they had the gas tank in the front instead of under the hood. This is a 3-gallon gas tank compared to the 1-gallon gas tank. So you could probably imagine why they put the gas tank back here. So on the 200 series, some of them had rear lights, some of them had reflectors. This actually had reflectors on it when I first got it, but I put the tail lights on it. Come to think of it, there wasn't anything back here, but I did put the tail lights on it. Hitch plate is the same as on the 100 series, and there also was a spot for rear lift linkage there. The back of the seat has a John Deere emblem on it with a 2-legged deer, and that is about it. This fender panel is actually kind of rare. As you can see right here, it does not have the piece that goes around this. It has its own type of deal. It does not need a black little cover for that. It has the thing made there for it. This is actually kind of rare. I think they only made this fender pan 1 year, and then they quit making it. Here is what your dash panel looks like. As you can see, right here is your manual PTO. Right here is your headlight switch. Here's your choke. Here's your throttle. Throttle and choke both moved over here compared to where they were on the 100 series. Your emblem cover and steering wheel are different compared to the 200 series. This is different than that, along with the steering wheel. The steering wheel on here is all plastic, where the one that was on the 73 is got a metal frame inside of it. I think, if I'm correct, it does. Manual lift, I already showed you how that worked. Key switches right there. Parking brake is in the same spot, gear shift is in the same spot, deck height is in the same spot. There's really not much else on here to show other than that. Is there? No, there's not. So, okay. This muffler cover is actually kind of rare. This came off of a 1975 John Deere 210. As you can see, this is the style they used in the 70s, and then the 80s they changed to just a cover going over the top. None of this. This didn't exist. So that is kind of rare for you guys so you can see. Here is under the hood, because I know you guys are dying to see it. As you can see, they actually on the 200 series had the shrouds redesigned. And also this right here is an engine hoist. You can lift your engine out if you've got a forklift or an engine lift, or drop it in if you have an engine lift. The only problem I have with the 100 series and the 200 series both is right down there. That is your starter, and it's a pain in the ass to get to. You got to remove the engine to get to it. It's not very fun. On the 200 series tractors, they had two different types of engine cradles. This tractor has a two-piece engine cradle. What the two-piece engine cradle is on the side of the engine block. There are a couple of feet, one on that side, one on this side. The two-piece cradle, this piece right here and that piece over there. If the block has the feet extended out on bottom, there's bolts that go into that. If it has the piece inside of the oil pan for the bolts to bolt into, that is where you bolt your tractor down. I will show you guys the one-piece fender pan, the one-piece engine hoist, and the two-piece. There's not a lot of difference between them, but they are quite different. So, just so you guys know. I think that is about it for the 200 series. The older engines had the one-piece engine cradle. The newer 200 series had the two-piece engine cradle. Why, I don't know, but that's how they were. A quick little note that I forgot to add was in 1975 John Deere came up with the 200 series tractors instead of the 100 series tractors. The 100 series were just designed to be lawn mowers that mowed your yard, and that was about it. The 200 series were a little bit bigger than the 100 series, carrying a bigger transmission and a bigger engine. These have a big block. Kohler case series to them, where the 112s had a short block apparently to them. And then in 75 they started making the 200 series, and in 74 they stopped making the 100 series. That includes the 140s and 120s. And then in 1987 they stopped making the 200 series. And after that I think they started making the 300 series. So, no. In 1970 something they started making the 300 series. They made 300s and 316s. We'll get into that here in another video. I think that is about it for things on here that are different compared to the 100 series. So let's go on ahead and get into this. Okay, you guys, I am going to go on ahead and end this video here. I hope you guys all learned something from this little series that I'm doing. This is kind of fun to make. Up next will be my 216, and I think that will be the last video in this little series. I started making the videos one right after another, so I have not read any comments. I will read comments when I upload the videos and I will reply to them and respond. So I will be making another video here soon, a PowerPoint video on the 100 series if I have not put it out yet, and I'll probably end up making one on the 200 series as well. So thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. 97% of you guys who watch my videos are not subscribed, so please consider hitting that subscribe button, because it tells YouTube that I exist, and it tells them I do a really good job at what I'm doing, and more people need to see them. And leaving a like on the video is going to help out as well. Leaving a like will help more people see this video that are looking for this stuff on how to identify their tractor year-wise. So thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.